Welcome in. Welcome once again to the newest edition of 3 In, 3 Out, the most unique Seahawks recap show on the multiverse. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner, and I am joined by the one, the only, the great BrandIN Schultz. Folks, if you're not used to 3 In, 3 Out, this is our tape review, our film review. But BrandIN, we don't go over the obvious plays. We dive into the nooks and the crannies on a victory Monday after a 31-17 victory against the Steelers. BrandIN, how are you feeling a full day removed from that W?
Feeling good. I am ready to get to some ins and some outs. And I'm thinking, I don't know, we changed things up a little bit because it was such a fun game. What do you say we do? We just changed the name of the show completely, and we call this 17 In and still go with 3 Out.
I would be so into that. I texted you and Adam today, and I was like, guys, there is so much good on this tape. There is so much good. And my eyes did not deceive me. I didn't have that many outs when I started. I take notes during the game. I had way more ins than outs. The score showed that. It's usually how it actually goes. And man, BrandIN, when I went back and watched this, there was so much cool stuff. Very difficult to whittle down to just 3 in. So you got to stick around to see what those are all about, folks. And stick around too, because we got our From the Flock section, other sections I'm sure we'll get along to as well. And BrandIN, there's something we always got to call out when it happens live, and that is
Ryan 911 coming in. Our live executive producer says, in all ins. Ryan, I'm sorry. Shutouts only get all ins. But I don't know. When it's a fun game, do we go 17 ins and 3 outs? You'll have to wait and see.
We could have. All right. So we're calling this one Smash Mouth, and not because of the, I guess you would call them rock. I guess that a form of rock. Yeah, I guess it's rock. The rock band. We're talking about the old school, just Smash Mouth football, both sides of the ball. This is what it felt like to me, especially on defense, Brand. That was really, really cool. So we are going to get into all of it. Reminder out there on youtube.com/Seahawkers podcast. As you see on screen, please hit likes, please hit subscribes. It helps more than you know. And it is always a good time. And it takes 2 seconds. It really helps out. We're putting in 5-6 shows a week at this point. So absolutely benefits us if you could do that. And we appreciate you doing that. All right. So BrandIN,
don't just hit the like, hammer the like.
Listen to Nightbot, folks. You hammer the like, and just like Michael Knight hammers the $2 super chat. I love how Michael will come in with $2. It's like he's playing a game of poker. Michael, by the way, it's great.
For 2.
He's just limping in. He just limps in. Doesn't need a comment. He's like, I don't need a comment. I'm just here because I'm here. You know.
Exactly. We appreciate that, Michael.
I love that. Okay, so look, yes. As you said earlier, we only get 6 ins with a shutout. This was not a shutout. BrandIN, I know we have one rule on 3 In, 3 Out, but it's been a long time. I wrote it down. I got a new monitor. Monitor blew out. I don't know what's going on. There's one rule. Please help me. What is the one rule on 3 In, 3 Out that we must abide by?
Yes. Well, Michael Knight in chat saying I'm in, and I feel like that should be a clue because, Clinton, when our Seahawks win, we're all in. And we start with an in.
We start with an in, buddy. Hit that whammy. Let's go. Oh, we're so back. Back.
The whammy feels so good after a win. First whammy, like that first hit of the whammy.
Yeah.
After a win.
The real whammy, right? It really reverberates that much better, right? So totally excited about this. Okay, BrandIN. So as you can see on screen, again, if you're watching on YouTube, great. If not, audio, all good. But we're calling this first in 53 just ruining things. So, not exactly too hard of a one to figure out there. So if it's 53, who do you think I'm talking about here, BrandIN?
Boye Mafe.
Got to be Boye Mafe, right? So let's go to the video and we'll put this up on screen. So here we go. Okay, so
the question is, which play is he ruining?
Yeah, exactly right. So I'll go back here for a second because we have it on screen there too. Let me just make sure I could read it to y'all. So it is Q1, 4:56 to go. This is kind of in the first quarter, early 3rd and 2, Pittsburgh's on Seattle's 30 at this point, and we're up 7-0. So what ends up happening is this results in a Boswell field goal. And I always like to look at the things that happen before the things. Our defensive line, man, Macdonald is building an absolute monster. And we're going to see a lot of that in the film review today. It's a thing of beauty. We're not even going to talk about Leo Williams because it was just too darn good and too darn consistent. It's almost too consistent for 3 In, 3 Out. But man, oh man, it's across the board, whether that's Hall or Mafe, we're about to see, and we'll talk about another certain somebody in depth a little bit later too. All right. So from the 30-yard line, here we go back to here. And as you can see, we played a couple more times through, so it's nice and easy for folks to see. But isolating Boye Mafe, he's way out there. You know, the one technique, zeros over the nose, one shading out there, 3, 5. He's out there like a 7, even a 9, they would call it, all the way out there. Watch him split. They just got a 5-man front, no tight ends to help. He goes right through this gap. This is a thing of beauty, man. Look at this move, BrandIN. Just come on. Just doing, and take it back to the wide mode. It's kind of cool to see as well. Bring it all the way back. Why not? And it's just him getting home. Yes, not a sack, but on 3rd and 2 to get off the field with this kind of disruption, just causing Rodgers to see some early ghosts, man. Boye Mafe doing some work first quarter, not getting a ton of love because other dudes kind of shined a little brighter, if you will, but BrandIN had to call it. I think there was a little slow motion. One more time, little hand chop, slicing through the line. What do you think, bud?
Boye Mafe was one of our top 5 defenders by Pro Football Focus measure, a 71.6. He had 2 pressures on the day, which I'm surprised that number is only 2, because when I wasn't joking when I asked you which Boye Mafe play it might be, because it was also, I don't know if you also saw this play on there, but I'm not ruining a future in, because there's another play that Boye messes up pretty significantly, and it is on the interception, because
yes,
one of the things is that it gets, let's see, the left side kind of is collapsing down a little bit, and Mafe, he does another one of these, except he's lined up on the right side instead of on the left. And he gets that interior pressure again on the inside of the tackle, right in Rodgers' face. And they ran the exact same play on that interception as they did the DK Metcalf touchdown. And instead of being able to go right, just the way, I don't think it was designed to go right anyway, because Rodgers never really looked over there. But he was looking to Freiermuth, and he did not have time. That's why he had to roll out, and then why Calvin Austin ends up going backward rather than forward. It muddies up that interception. So just another point to say, yes, this was not the only play that Boye Mafe helped make with the pressure in Rodgers' face.
Love it, because that, again, the idea is it's a play. Everybody knows the Kendrick interception, but you're breaking down something else Mafe did to cause it, which was right after, basically the sequence of Warren getting that little dump off pass and going for almost 70 yards or whatever, however long that was, right? Yeah. Right after we made it 14-14. So it's gigantic, because we get back to 14-14. It feels like we have momentum. We lose it right away. And then we kind of just gunk them up right there. And with that interception from Kendrick, which was very pretty, love giving Mafe the extra in, because, hey, whoever was asking for it earlier in the chat there, we want to pile. You'll see too. We want to pile on the ins. All right, it ain't all roses. It's never all roses. BrandIN, we got to get to an out, but first we got something that is a lot of fun. Take it, man.
Yeah, we got Samuel Gelber with a $5 super chat saying, "Go Hawks and happy birthday, Pete." Pete Carroll's birthday today. Is that a true fact? I haven't seen it yet.
I guess so.
Michael Knight hitting the in button once again with a $2
nice.
super chat. So,
Michael just putting in. He's got a good hand. He's got like pocket sevens. Like, I'll put a little bit more. It's all good. We appreciate that.
And Gary Blum doubling up on the ins, being in Pittsburgh for the W. So when you heard those Seahawks chants, it's quite possible that it was Gary giving either the C or the Hawks on TV.
Love it, Gary. That is great stuff. And congrats for taking the trip down there, because that sometimes going to Pittsburgh can be a tough spot. It has not been great for our Seahawks. Oh boy, for a couple of years now. So very good stuff. And let's see, we got Sean Scotchman saying, "Man, that Cross and Zabel combo for releasing the canine." Yeah, there was some cool stuff there, especially downfield blocking for sure that others had pointed out. And I want to ask Comic Binge asked, "Tell me on your guys' rewatch, did we do more two tight end personnel in the second half? Just in general." This is Paul from the Comic Binge. Go follow his channel if you're a comic book fan. Great dude. In general, it was way more two tight end personnel than last week for sure. But there was plenty of times where I'm rewatching where it's basically Barner and Arroyo right next to each other, primarily a lot of times on the right hand side. And and sometimes lining up on the right-hand side, overloading the right-hand side, and then run the ball left. And it was really kind of working quite nicely. So,
There
but
were a lot of times in the first half where they had Ouzts lined up in the tight end spot too.
Yep. He was even doing like little slotty back and forth and back to the same position type motions too. So, and it was a little choppy as we know, but let's get to some of that chop. We got some outs. Let's hit that whammy, bud. Okay. Out one. We're going to call this one Charby from the block. And again, it wasn't, look, it's never all going to be perfect. Now, the funny part is you see on the screen, it says, you'll see, it says Q1, 1034, 1st and 10. Seattle's on Pittsburgh's 21-yard line. So this is drive number 1. So we know how this ends, which is really, really good. And in fact, we'll play it here. We got Charbonnet trying to pick up a block, kind of gets really beat badly, but Sam Darnold unleashes it right there to Horton. And I do want to, we'll show it one more time. Sam standing tall, delivering a dart. I gave the out to Sharbs, but as you can see, Zabel's trying to pass this guy off, and he's a little off balance, and Zabel gets whacked. But
as he goes down, he trips up another Steelers player, and it's like bowling pins.
Yes, he does. He takes out at least the dude who was there. So that's a good cause and effect. I'm giving it to Sharbs. I think this could have been a cleaner pickup. Sharbs actually graded out really well with pass blocking, which again, you take PFF for what it's worth. I don't treat it as gospel. It's a nice guide. Here, I just felt like sometimes you see a run to the left, a fake to the left, and a guy just has no time to get back to the right. We saw that last week with Julian Love's when he got home, right? They fake McCaffrey to the left. Julian Love blitzes on the opposite side, but through the A gap, and McCaffrey had no shot. I thought here, if we're watching this, I thought Sharps could have gotten a better lick on the blitzer, and I don't think he did. I don't think the pinballing off of Zabel helps Sharps' case here, because I think it ends up like hurting Sharps. He's trying to move him and he runs into Zabel. But the whole thing here for me, BrandIN, is that was a pickupable blitz. Good for Sam to stand tall and deliver this ball to Horton for his first touchdown. But I wanted to call it out as an out, being like, look, I think we could pick it up a bit more crisp, even though we get the touchdown. What do you think?
Right. The idea being, Sam kind of a co-in to him for standing tall and delivering that. But if Sharps just gets a little bit better piece of that block, then his quarterback isn't getting hit. And we don't want to see Sam Darnold get hit. But like you pointed out, he did have the highest pass blocking grade among all players on the Seahawks. So Sharps has that to fall back on at least. So you picked the one play, Clinton, where you probably could have called him for an out, and here it is. Yeah, and I also wanted to pick plays that I could turn, we could turn outs into ins, because that's how you do one when you want to do 17 ins. Adam had texted us earlier today being like, hey, on that Horton touchdown, kudos to Sam for just sitting there and knowing he's going to get hit and delivering a dart. Nice crossing power to Horton. So we end on the out, but we really don't. We slow it down, BrandIN. We get Horton in the end zone celebrating. We're turning outs to ins, because why not already? All right, let's get to in number 2. Okay. In number 2, the clue is go north, sort of young man. BrandIN, who do you think I'm talking about here? Oh, let's see. Sort of young man, go north. This must be Cooper Kupp.
It might be Cooper Kupp. So Seahawks are up 7-6 at this point. 2 Boswell field goals. Obviously, we had our touchdown early. Q1, 1:31 to go. 2nd and 11. Seattle is on their own 29-yard line. BrandIN, it is Cooper Kupp. And I want to bring up Cooper Kupp because it's fun to say Cooper Kupp, but also because I have something I want to talk about when it comes to makeup of this team. But let's first just watch Darnold do his thing. Boom. And we're talking about 12 extra yards, man. I think we replay it one more time here. Just sits down on time, 12 more yards, but just by going north as quick as he could. I only played it through 2 times, so I'll just play it one more time back. But the thing, I know it's going to rotate through here. The thing with Kupp was I felt like he did this all day. So this is one thing that's emblematic of him doing this over and over and over again. I thought he caught balls in pretty tight spaces, sat down the zones, and he was supposed to sit down in zones, made 3rd down catches that were 2 of them that were not particularly easy. And his yak I thought was totally on point, and I thought he played a really strong game. So wanted to call out Kupp for getting it as much as he could out of every single opportunity. Really like what I saw from Kupp in game number 2. What do you think, bud?
Yeah, this was probably my favorite catch outside of he had a really nice other third down conversion that he
Yes,
made.
he did.
And for him to just, he sits down right in the zone in between two Steelers, quick throw. And as soon as he catches it, he's turning and moving upfield. And,
Absolutely.
you have two defenders just kind of waiting there. One of them tries to jump in front of it. So there's really nobody there that's, I mean, the nice thing about this is that, yeah, he's not immediately going down, and
Yes, thank
he's
you.
moving upfield. So
Thank you. Well, you said the magic words there, right? That is what I wanted to get at is I understand that when we traded DK away and we let Lockett go, everybody's like, oh, okay, so we brought in Sam Darnold for Geno and Cooper Kupp for DK. And it's like, no, I think the point is missed if you see it that way. It's like, no. Yes, Geno for Sam. Yeah, that's obvious. But it's JSN stepping into a one role, a true number one role, where he can get 8 to 10 to 11 targets a game, 8, 9 catches a game. And you're really supplanting Tyler Lockett with Cooper Kupp. And yes, they're both veterans. And I think Lockett could probably still do some nice things in the league. What I would not expect Lockett to do, and this is because of what he put on tape, nothing we're saying, he put on tape. I would not expect Lockett to do this because he wouldn't do it. He would have caught from 7 and maybe sat down, maybe rolled for a yard or two. He would not.
Kupp has like 5 inches and 40 pounds.
Well, I don't, whatever. I'm just going, sure. I mean, Kupp's what, 6'1", but what's Lockett like 5'9".
5'9", yeah.
I don't blame, this is not me blaming Lockett. It's just me saying, I think we made an improvement when it came to short area stuff. And the yak here is super impressive. And I think it's better for our deal and better for our team. And I thought Sam really did a nice job of just seeing what was open. If the first read was there, for the most part, I thought BrandIN throughout the day, thought he hit it, man. I'm not sure if you have any takes on Sam beyond that.
There were questions about whether or not he might have been to blame on the interception. I could go, either way on whether it was Darnold, whether it was Kupp, whether it was Ramsey making a good recovery as Kupp made that, because he kind of faked inward to get Ramsey off balance before he made the cut, and Ramsey did recover well. So that part of it, I still have my questions. I think I would have to know more about where Sam's expected to place the ball, how rounded off that route should be for Kupp before I were to place any blame on that one. But that was probably the most negative play of the day. Well, shoot, It was probably the only pass that went his way that wasn't complete.
Yeah, for sure. And for that first interception, I put that on Sam. I think he was late with the ball, but that's okay. Sam's not, he ain't perfect. I think he's a good quarterback.
He wasn't that late though, because
then it was just a bad pass. Then don't throw it. Ramsey's there, and yes, can Kupp undercut that a bit? Sure. But
if you go back and watch, it's, I think Sam was watching to see if Ramsey bit on the fake. And just as he bites on the fake, that's when Sam starts throwing it. And so that's where I have that little bit of question of if he really was late or if he just needed to get it a little bit more depth. If he, because watching it back, it didn't look as late as I thought initially.
Again, and I think with that, Ramsey's a good player. Ramsey made a nice play on the ball. And he's good. He's got 25 interceptions in his career for a reason. He's pretty darn good. We did have a couple of comments along the way that I think are worthy that contribute to the combo here. Ryan saying, it's a shame Cooper Kupp was only, in heavy air quotes, fine yesterday. Imagine if he has a good game. So maybe a little bit of a shade towards Adam there. Of course, we got Steven Ackerson saying, seeing us use Kupp getting open in soft zones like he's done for years against us was pretty cathartic, and I agree with that. Sean also pointing out a 3rd and 1 that Sam hit with Kupp. Exactly right. This was, I think, Kupp kind of falling backwards on the ball, like really, really tight spot. It was nicely done. This one from Free Truth saying, there will be a time when Kupp goes off. Yes, and it was called Yesterday because he had a really, really nice game. So, and then Michael had one more question. And when you're chipping in your $2, you get your questions ready. That's just how it goes. It goes, gentlemen, do we still trade for one more receiver this season? Someone in the I don't think so. Some in the last, like Jalen Polk just got traded, right? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to disrupt or upset the apple cart. I think there's enough talent there personally, and I think we started to see it being used better yesterday, or just more spurting around the ball, including the usage to the tight ends too. BrandIN, any opinions on if you think we make a move with any wide receivers?
I think it's possible if you see a guy that the team knows well. I just don't think that, well, like the dude from the Saints, maybe. If it's a guy from, not Olave, the other one.
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed. Like,
Yep.
if it's somebody that Clint knows well, if it's somebody that they have information on that they think that they could have an impact on, like special teams. Maybe you still get an upgrade over Holani, but I liked what we saw from him a little bit in this last game.
He did good.
He did.
He's not a dynamic
he's
returner.
Not explosive.
Yeah, it's just you watch him run, and it's like, okay, it's his speed there is DJ Dallas plus returning kicks, which is like fine, but fine. It's not
you use the correct word there.
Right. It's fine as a kick returner. It's not Rashid Shaheed. It's not a dude that can go all the way all the time. We are not going to talk about Holani, and I just got to say 95% of the time that ball goes out of the back of the end zone. Dude, he deserves some credit for breaking his body down and getting in position to recover that cleanly with only a yard to go. That was actually pretty special.
I would have preferred that he maybe did it a little bit more slowly. I could have been more sure. But
he did it so quick, the refs had no choice but just to be like, touchdown.
Yeah,
So, all right, let's get to that second out. All right, good stuff. We got out number 2. We're calling it Not So Sunny D. You look in the fridge, you got the soda, you got the purple stuff, and someone says, Sunny D, I want the Sunny D. Well, let's look. Q2, 5 minutes to go. 2nd and 5. Seattle is on Pittsburgh's 33. Remember, we end this half. The end of that second half was it was ugly, and it was more annoying than ugly. Ugly is you don't have a shot. Annoying is I can't believe we went into halftime losing 14-7. That's what this was. It was annoying. So Q2, 5 minutes to go. 2nd and 5. We're on Pittsburgh's 33, and we started to have some of these. Here comes Sundell, and there goes Sundell. And oh my God, there goes, I think it's Keanu Benton. We're trying to go out wide again. And look, I squared up here. Sundell's got a tough task. He's got to try to get across Keanu's face, Benton's face. And Benton is not known as being a huge nose tackle. He's actually an undersized nose tackle, but he is known for being fast. So that does show up here. This is a tough task to try to get across.
Oh yeah.
A dude is playing like a shade against you already. And with that, I think Sundell had some really nice plays on tape, and I think he had a couple of clunkers. This one's a bit of a clunker. Ouzts doesn't do much better on the outside, to be honest, against, I think that's Jack Sawyer out there. And our Seahawks we get stalled out in this drive as well. So a little bit later, we don't score. So just calling out Sundell. I think it's I know he's got injured. I don't know how severe, if we heard today, how severe that is. If you have an update,
I
Brandon.
heard cramping.
Oh, okay. It was like 80. It was hot. It was like 85 degrees out there. So that's fine. You get cramps. That happens to anybody. But there was also just, Brandon, just one too many plays. We were so Jekyll and Hyde in the run game. And that's kind of weird and certainly a little worrisome. But Sundell, whether it's Sundell or whether it's Olu, I think we have, if we're going to trade for something, maybe there's an upgrade we can make it center. I want Sundell to really take the reins and be great, but I think it's a little uneven still 2 weeks in, which is probably pretty expected.
Yeah, and looking back at this, I know the Ouzts block isn't great, but he gets into position to where I think he's allowing Charbonnet, that if the timing works out, to go ahead and make that cut, but because there's two dudes in the backfield, he can't.
Well, then he'll be holding. Like if he stays in the guy any longer, then he's going to get flagged for a hold, right? And Sawyer just dismissed him. By the way, Sawyer played a really good game. Young dude for the Steelers there, right? And he played. I thought he played a heck of a game. So kudos, hat tip to them. Sundell gets beat, but there's also like 3 other dudes there, 4 other guys there. So just a bit of a busted play.
Yeah,
Any
it's
thought?
It's the initial miss that really, it takes away the angle that I think Charbonnet would really want to have on that play. And
completely.
So he has to end up going a little more horizontal, and it's all because that one missed block. But again, recognizing that that's a pretty tough block for him to try and make.
Yeah, it is. What do you think about the Jekyll and Hyde situation of like last week? It certainly appeared we just blocked better for Charbonnet and he ran better. This week, it looked to me like we blocked a lot better for K9. We were kind of more between the guards or even between the tackles. And we were looking to do stretch zone a lot with Charbonnet, and that was not working. Did you see it at all differently, or is that how you saw it too? And what do you think what's the cause? Is it the running back, or is it just something else?
Mike Macdonald was asked this question in his Monday press conference, or it wasn't the Monday press conference. He does his Monday radio show, and then he does the press conference, so I always get the two things confused when the question comes up. But he was asked about this, and he did not have a good answer either. So if you're expecting me to have a better answer than our head coach, I do not have one. He said it was a mystery to him.
That's funny.
If you would have told him that there would be that disparity between the two running backs this week after what happened last week, he would have been, he wouldn't have believed it.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, we'll figure this out together, I suppose. All right. Well, that is our second out. It leaves us with our last in, sort of. Let's get to it because it's a good one. Okay. In number 3. I'm just going to say this. It starts at 9:02 of the first quarter, but we're going to go through a multiple number of plays. I'm titling this one, Our Guy Doesn't Spit on Dudes. So with that breadcrumb, let's call it, to, the witch's house, Hansel and Gretel style there.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. Who do you think we're highlighting?
We are highlighting Byron Murphy because he is kind of our guy. Now, he wasn't drafted the same year as Jalen Carter, who does spit on dudes. But that was the year that we picked Witherspoon. And then the following year, we got Murphy. And since through my deduction, I'm going to say because Witherspoon didn't play in this game, it's not Spoon that we're highlighting in the end. We're going to go the next year to Murphy in the position where it matches up.
You're good at this. Very, very smart man that you are. And yes, we're going to look at Murphy. We're going to look at 3 different plays from Murphy, not even one of his sacks, because his second sack was really a coverage sack. Now he just doesn't stop, and he deserves the credit for just motor. And he gets home on Rodgers for his second sack. But that's not even one of the 3 we're going to look at. For me, I thought Byron Murphy was the best player on the field. And that's saying something when you're sitting next to Leo Williams, who was really, really good. And then we had some great DB play. And obviously JSN was a monster. And K9 was freaking amazing, right? I think Murphy was the best player on Sunday. And I think that's a big deal for our Seahawks. So I'm excited about that and want to show that off. All right. So just setting it up here. He's sitting there in that one technique. Remember in the preseason with like, well, I'm not going to play nose that much. I'm going to play 3. Yeah, right. He's playing nose a lot. They're moving him a little bit, but he's really kind of shaded on the 0 or the 1 technique, which means you're just off the center, and 0 means you're centered up on the center. Here he is just to the left of the center. Watch a dude this big and this strong ought not be able to move this quickly both ways, like upfield and then horizontally. Watch how quickly he gets through, and we'll see another angle in a second.
There he is in the backfield.
And then that's pretty impressive. And then you see the all 22 angle. He gets skinny, pops through, and then he gets washed in traffic, and then he's just there.
I think he teleports. Something. I believe that he teleports between
and then he's there
guards, because there's no way to get through that wall of humans.
It's one of those like videos online where it's like, this is proof of time travel, right? And they show this. And
Nightcrawler exists, and he's in Boye Mafe's body.
Ooh, Did you just come up with a nickname for Murph here?
Is he the Nightcrawler?
Is he Nightcrawler? I love it. I love Nightcrawler too. He's a really cool character. So that's the first of Murph. Second one, I do forget the timestamp real quick, but we're highlighting him here. This is the sack, I think. No, this is no disruption on third down, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's first down. That's okay. We'll see it again. This is a stunt. I love how quickly he gets vertical here. Once he gets there's a stunt, then boom, and then he just flies upfield. He's just in Rodgers' face so quickly. This is nice execution, by the way. Let me just run that back real quick. Also want to point out, I think it's D-Law. D-Law doing a real nice job on this stunt. Just don't think I went back far enough. Pardon me. That should do it. That'll do it. So here it is. You'll see D-Law in a second. It's not like he does it quickly, but D-Law just does the job of clearing the way. He jumps into that lane and blammo. It's Murphy time. Beautiful stunt. Seattle's ability to get pressure with 4 dudes, whether it's sim or not sim, that's a problem for the league, man. It's been a real problem. And we're going to show one more here. This is the sack. Last play of the half. Just jumps inside, beats his guy. Like he just did this all game long, BrandIN. And I mean, he's making major leaguers here look pretty dumb. These are high draft picks that he's making look bad for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That gets me excited. What do you say, bud?
Yeah, I love it. He takes the inside route on that one, then able to fight back and get to Aaron Rodgers. 4 total pressures on the day, so he did lead the team. He had 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries, did not miss a tackle. So that's another nice thing about his game. You did say that you thought he was the best player on the field. There was one play to me that I think demonstrated Big Cat's dominance. And
I know which one. I know what you're going to talk about, but go ahead.
Okay. It's the play. It's the play right before the interception by the Seahawks.
Yes, it was huge.
Where he stands up the guard and then just rips him to the ground, and then is in the backfield to make the tackle of the running back. So that one to me was my favorite Leonard Williams, and maybe my favorite defensive play of the entire game.
It was an awesome play. And the coolest part was he does stand up the guard and throw him to the ground like a rag doll. And I think it might be Gainwell. Obviously it's Gainwell or Warren. I forget who it was, but they're almost past him until he just is like, no, no. Right. And he just takes him and rips him back. And he moves the body like 2 yards backwards. He's standing still, and the running back has momentum.
He's catching the boulder as it's running downhill and then tossing it back up the hill. Yeah,
if he was Sisyphus, the thing would have been over in like 2 seconds. Like, all right, give me a different challenge. This is nothing. I'm done here. So village is saved, and I'm outside, and the curse is eradicated. It was awesome. So we got Sisyphus and we got Nightcrawler too, right on that front line. And
the Minotaur, who
yes, there we go.
Lisa has dubbed Derek Hall.
Yes, which the dude's just because why? Because he's an absolute beast. No, Lisa, we did not mention Derek Hall. I don't think he's coming up today. He's one of my favorites. He was robbed of remember week 1, he's robbed of a sack on a downfield penalty on Tariq, which kind of ticky-tacky. That would have been a sack in that game. In this game, he gets robbed of a sack. It's a 3rd down, and there's a holding penalty on him where he's absolutely mugged trying to get to Rodgers, and Rodgers eventually gets it away. It's holding, and they decline it and have to punt. So, really Hall has been actually quite good. So good stuff.
He was the co-leader in pressures along with Byron Murphy.
There we go. Had 4. Well, I love hearing that and seeing that. Let's let this play through. I think we're on the right one. All right. Well, we got one more out because that's how this goes. Let's hit it. Okay. Back up because it's on. All right. NATE and me. So what I want to point out here is I call out Sundell before, and again, a little up, a little down, and some good, some bad, whatever. Olu comes in, and some okay and some not okay. And it wasn't
like they're the exact same guy.
It wasn't much better. And we still got Murphy on the screen, which is fine because this is more fun than talking about the next thing. We'll see one more time. There we go. All right. Let's watch Roger get it one more time, Brandon. There we go. In slow motion.
I'm here for it.
There we go. All right. Now I know what's the next one, I think. All right, so we highlight Olu, run the center, and it's almost the same exact thing as Sundell. It's just like, what are we doing? So, by the way, this is Q4. It's only a 7-point game at this point. So we're up 7, 24-17, 4:29 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 10. Now, this happens, and the next play is a 19-yard or whatever it is touchdown by Walker, which was a give-up play. That the Steelers decided to not, I don't know what they were doing. They were just, that was bad angles, and K9 special. But this is just a situation where I need a little more from our starting center. And against Keanu Benton, who is quick, but boy, oh boy, does Benton do a job. And, and by the way, I think it's Abe, who just doesn't see on the other side. And there we are again. Here, Brandon, watch this. This is Rodgers getting hit in slow motion.
We should just keep watching Rodgers get hit by Byron Murphy.
I think the flock would like it. Yeah, so Abe kind of gets lost in space. He's kind of going wide. I think it's a linebacker out there. And a guy, if you watch Abe this time, Sawyer comes right through Abe's inner shoulder and gets the sack.
They had 3 guys dedicated to TJ Watt on that play, and like everybody whiffs. Yeah.
I mean, crosses out. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I guess Ouzts didn't whiff. He did get an arm on TJ Watt. But.
Yeah, he got an arm, right, exactly, on Watt, which is funny. So I don't know about our center in general. I'm fine with Sundell being the guy, letting him just get better. I just think we're in whoever the center is, they might be okay.
I think not everybody can be awesome.
Right.
And if Bradford can go ahead and be pretty good or decent, and it's just the center position that we're okay, like we have a guy who's okay. And because I need a position to keep complaining about every offseason that we go ahead and sign. So maybe it has to be center now.
Yeah, Gigi saying, I feel like Olu did okay. He did. I mean, and Gamla Goat, this is the awesomeness and the curse of looking at one play individually in a show like this, right? So we are going to pick nits. That's the way that 3 in 3 out is structured. But it's fun because then we also get to talk about, a 12-yard yak play on a 7-yard basically turnaround ball, right? Because that's what it is. So I don't disagree. I think he did okay.
Hey, you know who was blocking on that Ken Walker touchdown? That was the very next play.
Olu
was out there blocking.
And Zabel was way downfield, and Cross had a killer block on that next play.
Especially, yeah.
So yeah, well, Zabel was like, he was just running free and then picked up like a DB at the 2-yard line, which is fine. Cross was doing some work.
JSN whiffed on a block, but then picked up the next block, and that ended up being one of the ones that sprung the touchdown. So
he's a willing blocker. He's willing.
Hey,
he's willing.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. I'm
it was
fine
a touchdown. I was not expecting touchdown when they
no,
ran that play.
No. They ran that play.
I think I even saw a stat that said that no other player has ever run on 3rd down for a touchdown on 3rd and goal. And part of me thinks that maybe most teams don't run the football on 3rd and 19. Which is why you never see that type of touchdown.
You don't. We actually had a run on 3rd and 7, which was pretty nice. That was right before the interception that got batted down, but that was a nice 3rd and 7. They didn't expect it. We got 6. That was a pretty cool call.
We ran the funky 4th and 1 play.
Yeah, would have been cooler to just run the ball again, but that's neither here nor there. We did pretty well, and we still won a road game by 14 points I said the road part already, but pretty darn good. And Vin Russo saying Olu played 9 snaps and gave up a sack and a pressure. Yeah, so there you go, Vin. But also like DHing or pinch hitting in baseball, it's not that easy to come in cold at all. And in a situation where the Steelers are going to kind of tee off, because they're getting into desperation mode and going to send blitzers. So not easy.
Yep. All right. Well,
all right.
I'm ready for one more in.
You are ready. You are ready for one more in. So, hey, when we win, we not only start with an in. I found my piece of paper. Thank you so much. But we also get the brand in. It's the extra in. You tell me what to do. And I just got to sit there and take it and listen. So BrandIN, what is your in our 31-17 victory over the Steelers?
Yes, I thought about it. It was really tough of where I was going to go with my in. The Leonard Williams play, it was right up there. But there was one other play that was on offense that you just don't see this sort of thing happen. And it has to go to Robbie Ouzts. It has to, Clinton, because Robbie Ouzts not only made pancakes, the dude made waffles.
The dude made waffles, Brandon. We know what play you're talking about. Ouzts might have had a bit of an unbalanced game also. However, again, 3 and 3 out is about the moment that we're talking about here. I had a feeling you might go with that one. So with that feeling, what I did was I queued it up. I was like, you know what? If he takes it, he takes it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I figured you might take it. Here it is. The whole lineup, and there goes Ouzts. Not just one linebacker, Brandon, but it's waffles when you take out 2 linebackers. Look at Ouzts do.
He comes so strong to the hole and just smashes Peyton Wilson. And Wilson has not even hit the ground yet.
Yeah.
And he has moved on, and he is taking Patrick Queen's soul as well to double up and then land right on top of them as
so
K9
nice.
runs down the field. It was a little funny too, listening to Mike Macdonald about this play, because as cool of a play it was, like, he was upset that K9 didn't beat the safety and turn this into a touchdown. And had this play also become a touchdown, it would have been pretty incredible too. But Robbie Ouzts, man, boom.
It's sick.
Taking out 2 middle linebackers in one go.
I do
he
find
is my BrandIN.
He's the deserved BrandIN, man. So it's amazing. It's great. I mean, he jukes the first guy out of his jock strap there and then trips over his own guy's legs. I mean, geez, Mike, give K9 a break. I mean, he's breaking ankles and taking names out there, which was beautiful. It had to be the BrandIN. I knew it would be the BrandIN. Amy Holmes saying short stack absolutely delivered. So that was a ton of fun. Brandon, when we win, not only do we start with an N, Brandon, when we win, not only do we get the extra brand in, but when we win, we also get the MVC, the most valuable cranny. Did you rev up the 3D printing machine for the trophy and for something else we're unveiling this year in 2025?
You know I did. This 3D printer has been waiting ever since week 1 began, because I wanted to get it ready in week 1. Shoot, I brought it out with us to the Airbnb so we could have the MVC trophy printer there with us. And then we didn't get to use it. And then, I brought it out for no reason, essentially. And now I've just been waiting to print this MVC trophy.
Very nice. We almost had that week 1, and it was a shame we didn't get to use it, but it was battle tested. It was ready. All right. So the first MVC of the 2025 campaign, Brandon, I'm giving this to Cooper Kupp, man. I'm giving this to Cooper Kupp. And not only are we printing the MVC like we do every single time, we're going to send that out to the VMAC. But this year, we've also designed some player cards for the fun of it. So we got our front there. This is a picture, an image from the game itself, manipulated a little bit, of course. And on the back, we got, for a consistent and timely yak attack all day versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, September the 14th, 2025, week 2. You know the rest. Cooper Kupp MVC. Ryan thinks it's a sham. That's okay, Ryan. I love you, bud. Brandon, how do you feel about Cooper Kupp taking it for all that yak?
I like this. I feel like our engraver for the MVC trophy is going to be a little bit disappointed if we fully convert over to this trading card idea and have it on the back, because then we're putting people out of work, and that's not cool.
Yeah, that is not cool. We want to pay by the letter. Marlon saying he was just fine, which is hilarious. Michael Knight saying he want Ouzts. And Ryan 911 saying, did this get clear with Adam? So if you know, you know. And it's always absolutely great to give Adam some comeuppance here. Amy saying the card is great. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, we got some ideas where we're thinking about some things we possibly could do here. One thing I know we're going to do, Brandon, is I know we're going to move on from the MVC. We're going to hit the From the Flock section. Why don't you tell all the flockers out there that know us or maybe don't know us yet how they can get involved in this show and all of our shows on the Seahawkers Podcast Network.
Yeah, big thanks to everyone who came in throughout the show with their super chats. If you want to help support the show, if you're catching this after the fact, if you want to get into our Discord community, you can go to getintheflock.com. Help support the show there. I'm going to be mailing out some patches. I'm going to be mailing out some stickers to people who support the show, $5 and above. you get a nice little I'm a little flocker patch mailed out to you. And anything below that, we're sending out stickers as well. So just a cool little thing to say thank you for everyone who helps support the show.
Yes, and it is my favorite part of the show because we get to hear from y'all what your ins and outs were, and we queue them up right from our Discord. It's the only place we're taking them nowadays is in that Discord, so get involved. All right, so I'll take the first one here. I'll take the left-hand side. You can take the right. Starting it off with Car. She had an in. She's with us live today. Car says in opening drive touchdown. Maurice says in play action, which we saw lots of under center. Josh DeHuman said in Darnold throwing to Horton for a touchdown, which was quite nice. We covered that. 12th man records. Jason saying in JSN is really, really good. I agree. And we got right hand Dan saying in that's how you start a game. That is an impressive opening drive for our flockers there, Brandon.
Gotta love the opening drive touchdown, something that as fans of the Seahawks, we have not been able to witness in the Mike Macdonald era. So man, oh man, is it about time. We've got Carly Perkins with the live in saying, I convinced my mom she would buy a Leo Williams jersey during the game when she asked who our best player was. There you go, Carly.
Well, there you have it. He is our best player. So that is correct.
Also an in to Byron Murphy from 12th Man Records saying stopping the run in the backfield. That was a play early on. Josh DeHuman showing off a retweet of the 21-yard touchdown to the rookie. Horton in the end zone on the opening drive. Gotta love that.
Love that very much. Back to Car saying in seeing Rodgers get knocked the F over brings me joy. Harm joy. Josh DeHuman saying in Barner, the Seattle Scrum King. I kind of like that, although I hate the play. If we're going to do it well, and Barner does it well. Back to Car one more time in going forward on fourth and getting it because that's the identity of this team. She also says at this point, not a single out to be seen here yet, which was, hey, that's a nice way to start a game, Brandon.
Yep. Got Gambling Goat in the chat here live saying, how can one obtain another sticker on the merch page? What you can do, Gambling Goat, if you go to Seahawkerspodcast.com, click the contact button, just put a note in there with your address, and I'll mail out more stickers.
Easy. There you go. Beautiful. Great question.
Easy to do.
And the stickers are
records
awesome.
They are awesome. And I think I have some new ones too. They're a little bit, I don't know, they're more substantial.
Nice.
12th Man Records giving the in to Kendrick, playing tough, talking trash, and being disruptive on defense. Great to see him out there and having an impact, especially with Spoon being out of this game. KC Hawk with an in to Kobe, batting the ball away on the tip instead of trying for the INT. We would have liked Kobe to also bat down that one touchdown catch by DK Metcalf, but he just couldn't quite get to it. Imagine, Clinton, what kind of day DK wouldn't have had if he didn't have the touchdown.
Yeah, just all drops day, right? Julian had a nice breakup on DK. That would have been tough. He had the drop on the slant. He gets his on the little floater, whatever. Kobe played, again, pretty darn nice. So definitely do like that. Sean Scotchman with the live in saying, punishing the Steelers. Yeah, man. We pushed them around pretty good. Brandon, I ended up listening to a decent amount of, Steelers shows this morning, and then kind of throughout the day.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, no, because they lost, and
harm joy.
Yeah, a little harm joy. What I wanted to see was where my gut was. They'd be pretty much blaming it all on Caleb Johnson and the play, which was that play certainly changed the game. There's no doubt about that. But they were so overweight. And that's what I was trying to see. I was like, are they just going to talk about that special teams play? And really, that's the only thing they think went wrong. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, it's kind of what they just honed in on. I'm like, did you not see your quarterback stat line? That it was, something like whatever he ended up with some dinks and stuff. But at one point he was like 10 for 23 or something like that, right? He was having a bad day back there, man, after looking like his former all-pro self just a week before, which, by the way, the Jets still stink. The Jets still stink. That was a mirage. Week one's a lie. The Jets are not good.
I agree. Michael Knight with an in to Kendrick again, just hammering that in button for Kendrick. And yeah, having that interception, that would be another place where I would say, well, Aaron Rodgers even went there after the game in his press conference. He was like, well, Cal wasn't supposed to be back there. I can't count how many times Aaron Rodgers went to the kid card with each of his teammates. And that's, I would think if you're a teammate of Aaron Rodgers, do you want him calling you kid the whole time? Like as a grown man?
I mean,
in the NFL?
he's pretty old though. I mean, I hate to put the word endearing into an Aaron Rodgers sentence, but I don't know. It's kind of endearing actually. It's, he's old, man. He's an old player. So to call someone a kid, maybe he's actually taking a bit of an interest in them, or he's just making fun of them and blaming them for, getting in the way.
Well,
either way,
it was Cal who tipped it up right into Kendrick's arms. And maybe Aaron has a point that if Calvin Austin wasn't there to tip the ball right to Kendrick, maybe Freiermuth does come up with that catch. But again, that just goes to the culture of excuse making in Pittsburgh.
There you go. I love it. And what comes with Aaron Rodgers, right? So, all right. Car said earlier there was no outs yet, so she made sure we got the first out in here, which was out. That 4th down attempt at the end of the half was painful. Yeah, not great. And B-Wag's Biceps said, "How the catfish did Ryan Grubbs? Is he still calling plays on 4th and 1? Didn't we get rid of that guy and run the catfishing ball?" I hear you, B-Wags. You want to take it with Josh?
Yeah, Josh DeHuman with an in. Murphy with his first sack of the season. Out. Ouzts with the missed block on Hayward. Hey, I don't know if that was a business decision. I feel like if I were in that position, I would be making that business decision as well. You're not going to Cam Hayward, a guy the same way as you are Peyton Wilson. So kind of.
He gets paid the block. He gets paid the block.
He's paid the block and not nap at the feet of Cam Hayward. 12th man records with the out. Tank getting played by the fake handoff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was that was interesting. That was D-Law. That was a nice play by Rodgers, right? That fake, and he just okey doked him and had the ball and took it around the corner and whatever, dumped it off. Hey, sometimes you tip your cap and say that guy can still play a little football. But we made him look pretty dumb. So, which is good. All right. So let's go. And then did we get all those? Yes, we did. All right. So
Michael Knight coming in with a $2 super chat. Thanks,
Michael Knight. Look at him. Still chipping in. He's got a good hand, folks. He's got a good hand. All right. He's hoping for something on the river there, Michael. All right. We got Frost saying, Frost, by the way, if you don't know, is Ryan 911, our executive live producer, or one of them. He says, in opening drive of both halves were fantastic. Great mix of runs and passes, 7 points for each. Great point. In for special teams, kick and punt coverage has been good so far. I agree with that. By the way, Frost, I thought Dixon was a C- to D+. You got to pin the ball within the 10-yard line nowadays, and then a chance to boom the ball. He kicked a 42-yard punt when he had all field and could have done a 65-yarder. So I thought he was not so good. He says, out arm tackling on the play that just happened. You'll know the one when you read this tomorrow. Gotta imagine, Brandon, he's talking about the Jalen Warren, like 70-yard little dump off. It has to be, right?
In defense of Frost, I believe he was calling out the punt and kick coverage, not so much as Dixon.
I know.
So
I hear you. And that's right. And that was good stuff. But punt coverage, part of punt coverage starts with good punting.
Sam Gelber coming in live saying that kickoff play kind of wants me to see Dixon doing some more drop kicks. Man, if Dixon could get it in the zone too, I just have a feeling that bouncing the ball off the ground and then trying to get it into the zone, it has to be a high variance of being able to do that cleanly, especially on a field that's not field turf if it's on grass. And I don't know if the Steelers actually play on turf or grass.
No, that was grass because you could see a lot of the dirt.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the worst field.
It was super shot. It's like it's week 2, guys. What are we doing? It rains in Pittsburgh. What's going on?
I remember that because my wife came up, made the joke that after the dude threw up on the field that somebody needed to come out with kitty litter and clean that up. And I said, well, shoot, you may as well bring some fertilizer out because that field needs it already.
That's funny. Good stuff there. All right. So I think we left that with, okay. So we still got Frost saying in defense, redeem with the interception, 0% give up. That's the Kendrick interception. 12th man records into K9 runs, out to Sharp's runs. And again, it's like, why? I want to figure out why that's the case. And maybe we could just be good at running the football always, but hey. And then we got designed Pete's Beach House, which is of course Amy. She's with us live as well. She says in a screen worked. And yes, we had a JSN bubble screen that did pretty darn good, man. That was a pretty nice screen.
Actually work.
It did.
We got Seahawk Tua on that thing. Fang. Opening drive, the incomplete pass to JSN on the 3rd and long.
Yep.
Frost with an in, special teams touchdown. That was nice to see. That really helped the Seahawks pull away in that game. So Steelers fans aren't wrong there. That did contribute.
Oh, for sure.
A big part of us being able to pull ahead. Lloyd Zilla with the in, the Zabel block on the K9 touchdown in the 4th. If he doesn't make that block, K9 doesn't score.
Yeah. And he's like I said, he's blocking a dude down the 2-yard line, which is super nice. So let's keep on keeping on good stuff. We got Frost saying K9 over 100 yards, which that doesn't happen that often in the NFL nowadays for running backs to go over 100. So it's kind of special. Dolphin in. I feel like I'm watching a football team this year instead of some really good guys and a bunch of chumps like the last few years. So interesting point there from Dolphin that maybe it's just a more fuller roster. And I think he's kind of.
It's Mike Macdonald putting his stamp on year 2.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true. Car with another stamp here in hearing the Seahawks chant at the Steelers Stadium. Well, thank you, Gary Bloom, because he was killing it there.
Seahawk Tua back in with the out, white and gray combo. Not a fan of that combo, apparently. Doc Hawk with the in, traveling Hawk fans, K9, and Horton's first touchdown.
Doc Hawk, great stuff. Seahawk Tua on that thing. I think the white and gray is pretty clean. I think I like that we don't do it all that often. So I think it's okay. All right. So we also got, let's see. Yep, that's right. Fire hats for all in. K9 balling out once more. It's good to have him back. And we got Josh again in. We won TOP, time of possession, which is one of Josh's amazing flocker, hangs out in the Discord, posts a lot of great stuff. And time of possession is kind of his metric. And by the way, if you're going to have one metric, it's a pretty good one to have in football, especially when you want to be a team that runs the football. You want to take Lisa's?
Sure. First, Mike W. coming in live saying I'm late to join, but I hope JSN's catch over Ramsey wasn't in.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if we've gotten to it yet from the flock, but generally Clinton's ins and outs are nooks and crannies. And a lot of folks, we witnessed that JSN catch, and we want to give a little bit of shine to some of the other things that maybe you didn't pick up in the first watch. So, but absolutely recognize JSN's catch as one of the ins in this game.
Yeah, and a huge moment too, right? It's like, hey, your best dudes step up in the biggest moments, and JSN started strong and JSN finished strong, which was dope.
JSN jiggy with it in Derek catfishing hall, being a catfishing minotaur all game.
And there it is. Michael Knight saying wheat grass in Pittsburgh. And yeah, man, they need some like Scots or something, right? They got to do something with that field because it's week 2. Do better. All right. In Fire Hats for All, the new dynamic kickoff. Who knew? So, to our benefit, why not? Witherfork, good to see from him. He says in that cross block on that K9 touchdown. So this is kind of fun, right? We got Flockers calling out Zabel blocks, and we got Flockers calling out cross blocks on the play directly after we're calling out Olu and others for getting twisted around. That's why I love the show, BrandIN.
I wonder if Cross's block was on Watt, because he had one rep that I remember going back and watching where he just absolutely stoned TJ Watt. And it may have been that might be the one that Witherfork's referring to on that play.
Don't know. Not sure.
Oh, well. Delwyn with the in, being rewarded for waking up at 3 a.m. on a Monday to watch the game live with the Flockers. There you go. Yes. All the way in Australia, watching the game live. Good
stuff. And Design Pete's Beach House, we skipped her there. Amy said 24-3 in the second half, which is just, you don't see that very often, especially when you defer. When you've got a kickoff to start the second half and you win that big, you had a good day. You had a good day. So want to call that out. All right. So let's see.
BWAC biceps with the in. Another awesome Seahawks Sweden meetup in Stockholm. See what that's one of the things, one of the benefits of being in the Discord. You can find out when some worldwide meetups are happening. And there was one in Stockholm, Sweden. We started out losing 2 straight. Now we're 2-2 and flying.
Yeah, he posted a great photo of the meetup as well. It looked like a lot of fun. Leo simply says in W. What else is there, man? Right hand Dan saying first BrandIN of the season. Yeah. And it was a double loot. So that's really good. What do you got from Steven on screen there?
Oh, just a side note that the Raiders offense looks not very good. We are streaming live as the Raiders are playing. We saw that Geno Smith threw an interception on his first pass, and doesn't sound. We're not able to watch live, but it sounds like it's not going well for the Raiders.
Yeah, not so good so far. But Bunny was in. Wait, we got Marlon. I got all twisted. You take the one on screen, please.
All right, Marlon in. Ouzts taking out 2 linebackers with 1 block. Hey,
Yes,
we got to that one.
yes, and we have a few more slides, so stick with it because it's a lot of fun. We got a few more great takes. Frost in. Reek ran over 80 yards to make a touchdown-saving tackle on the Steelers' longest play of the day on a drive that ended with a turnover a couple of plays later. This is a great call out because, we can, and I do get on Reek's case. That was effort, man. That was effort way downfield. He gets the stop. And when you don't give up any extra inches after giving up a 70-yard screen, basically a little dump off, good things can still happen. So nice call out by Frost. And we got GG Gambling Goat saying in. Darnold helped save a pick 6 on our god awful fourth and 1 attempt. He did. It's true.
He also helped to cause that pick 6, but yeah.
Yeah, he could have ate it. He could have just eaten the ball. I agree. At the same time, I think he's trying to make a play. They got to block better. That was where Ouzts could have done a better job. So Gamble Good also says, you get 2 in just because we won. Gray Zabel's block on the 20-yard touchdown run by K9. So Zabel getting called out again, which again, we love.
All right, good. We got Bunny with an in and the Cooper Kupp grade 80.2 in the PFF grade 89 run block. So a nice in from Bunny there. Rick Slick also recognizing Reek's tackle on more than 65-yard scamper. And Jeremy Evergreen saying Cooper Kupp showing some veteran savvy and reliability, getting open in the middle of the field. And man, oh man, did they attack the middle of the field with Kupp in this game.
Yes, they did. And I thought Darnold was pretty darn masterful getting the ball out on time over the middle, which was nice to see. We got 2 more slides. Stick with us. We got Nate Shoots in. Ouzts double pancakes and Jay Harbaugh, question mark, out. The lack of tackling in that Warren screen, which, we know about that, except you, Willen, which is cool. And then Jeremy Evergreen saying out. It seemed like when this is a pretty interesting point. He says, it seemed like when Sharps came in, it was too obvious, the way we were running the toss sweeps versus what we were doing in between the tackles with K9. Again, kind of the exact opposite of last week in every possible way. And maybe Mike Macdonald could figure out that mystery, but he hasn't yet, it seems.
No, and that will be the thing to solve this season. If they can get both running backs going in the positive direction throughout the game, then this run team, they're going to be unstoppable.
I think so. All right, so we got one more slide. Start it up, bud.
Closing it out with Hawk Van Dyke with the HVT schedule analysis accuracy. He's spiking the football. He's coming in, showing his expectation for the season all the way back. Gosh, was it middle of May? And he had our Seahawks 1-1. So there you go, Bloomy. We're giving you your flowers as you are spiking the football right here on 3 and 3 out.
Yes, and he has one last in, and we'll close it with that one before we say goodbye. He says, when we score 18, we win. That's his formula. He goes, man, we just got to score 19 points with this defense and we will win games. That's pretty exciting in the modern NFL, right? If you could be that consistently good on defense. So, Brandon, that's going to do it, buddy. This was a really fun. We all know the stats, right? If you go 0-2, it's like a 12-point-something% chance that you make the playoffs. That's like the last 30, 40 years of football. It's really difficult to dig out of that hole. And the rest of the division played not so great teams. They all got by and they all, basically skated by and they all go 2-0. We had to get this W. We got this W. And I think we get a chance to kind of reset, take a deep breath and be like, ooh, this could be a pretty interesting team and a really interesting season now queuing up for us, bud.
I'm not going to be happy with just one win, though. I need back-to-back wins, and we have an opportunity for back-to-back wins coming up on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints, Clinton.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. I know that I believe you're heading to the game, so have a ton of fun out there. We're going to have content all week long. We got What If coming up with the preview show. We're going to record that tomorrow. We got a crossover with the great Saints collaborator. We got the flagship. We got Blue Friday bets. Brandon, I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.